You know our final episode of every week, courtesy of our friends at the DQs of Northwest Edmonton and Sherwood Park. We invite you to bring the heat. We want your hottest takes. It's the Flamethrower, presented by the DQs of Northwest Edmonton and Sherwood Park. These are all real emails to talk@ryanjesperson.com. Lindsey says, all right, let's talk about Trump's debate performance. It was like watching reality TV, but somehow less scripted even so. I mean, it is a debate, but it kind of came across as a bit of a stand-up special. Like half the time, it didn't even seem like he was debating. He was just sort of like free associating with whatever popped into his head, dodging questions like dodgeballs, but with less agility, responding with things like, we had the best economy in history, the best. Nobody's ever seen numbers like these. And can we talk about the interruptions, says Lindsey. It was like he was playing a game of who could talk louder. Don't even get me started on the fact-checking. If you played a drinking game based on how many times a moderator had to fact-check him, you would have been unconscious in the first 15 minutes. Honestly, I don't think that his debate performance was so much about policy as it was about winning the last word game, except for nobody else signed up for that. That one from Lindsey. This from Concerned Citizen, who's talking about Danielle Smith's plan, Alberta Premier, to transfer underperforming hospitals from Alberta Health Services to Covenant Care, Catholic-run. Concerned Citizen says Catholic-run healthcare would never turn out like Catholic-run schools in the not-so-distant past where we were educating young Indigenous children, would it? Oh, Concerned Citizen, you're going to start something there. What about this one from Jo-Jo, who says, can we please talk? And she says, by the way, thanks Real Talk for your coverage on this story about the Alberta government canceling Calgary's Green Line transit project. What are they thinking? This was Calgary's chance to improve public transit, reduce traffic congestion, actually help the environment. This wasn't just some nice-to-have project. It was essential for a growing city. People need better, faster, cleaner ways to get around. And guess what? Cutting public transit isn't going to help our climate crisis. Let's be real, Ryan. Every time they cancel a project like this, they're setting the city back by years. Calgary wants to modernize and keep up with other big cities, but how can it do that when the government keeps pulling the plug on major infrastructure? This isn't a small pothole fix we're talking about. It's a massive missed opportunity. Way to hold the city back. That from Jo-Jo. And this from Debra. Johnny, this isn't necessarily a submission to us for the Flamethrower, but Debra CC'd us on her email to basically every government minister in Danielle Smith's cabinet. Wow. So you see all the ministers, and then you see talk@ryanjesperson.com. And Deborah says, I'm taking time away from my birthday celebration to write you ministers a letter about the absolute, and she doesn't hold back, by the way, the absolutely idiotic decision to cancel this Green Line project. My frustration with this government has just reached a level of anger that I cannot say I've ever felt in my 73 years of existence, says Deborah. Then she says, and I think that the city should be telling you guys, earmuffs kids, to fuck off and cancel the event center. I don't support the public funding there, and build that Green Line. She says, what experience does the transportation minister Dreeshen have with traffic congestion anyway? I mean, he grew up in a farming area. Maybe he's used to waiting for CN rail cars carrying grain, but waiting for LRT cars above ground every 5 minutes is overwhelmingly frustrating, says Deborah. If the province is taking over building this Green Line, are they actually going to solicit any feedback? Maybe from people that'll actually ride that train? Because it sure seems like this government is moving forward without any of that. Am I cynical, wonders Deborah? You bet I am. She says, and I'm writing out of frustration, but I don't believe this government cares what the average citizen thinks. They're corrupt, and it makes me sick to my stomach. That from birthday girl Deborah. We wish you a happy 73rd. Stay fiery, Deborah. And all the rest of you, make sure that if you got something you need to get off your chest, send us an email to talk@ryanjesperson.com. And when you go grab a Flamethrower signature stack burger from the DQs in Palisades, Namao, Newcastle, Westmount, and Baseline Road in Sherwood Park, you make sure you let them know that Real Talk sent ya. We're going to be taking a couple of days off to get everything in order so we can hit the ground running next week. Make sure you subscribe to our email at ryanjesperson.com. Follow us on social for further updates. We'll talk to you soon.